All right, we're live. Cool. So the Leanpub Friday live stream. Len, what do you want to talk about this week?
Well, one thing I'd like to talk about is we got out three new book launch videos this week.
Hmm.
All of them were really fun. One was "No One Is Coming to Save You," which is a really good sort of self-help book by two really smart kind of agile guys. And it's funny. It's one of them says, "No one is coming to save you" in kind of a positive tone, and the other one always says it in a very like kind of ominous negative tone. But it's actually a very kind of like empathy is at the heart of it. It's that you should be there to save yourself. Partly is their message.
Hmm.
If you're having a sort of if you're reflecting on your career, where you are in your life, things like that. It's a very good, very kind-hearted book from people who kind of know what it's like to be in difficult places. They're
Hmm.
also, and like I said, they're also very smart, agile guys who pros who've been around and stuff like that. So that's the other dimension to it. There's the self-help, and then there's the kind of these are very pro consultants when it comes to agile and stuff like that. The other another book was Ready: Why Most Software Projects Fail. I'm going to be interviewing both of normally our book launch videos go about like 60 seconds to 5 minutes. This one went 40 minutes. Um,
Awesome.
so I invited both of the authors to individually do different podcast episodes, which we'll be recording on Monday. But they have a lot to say. It's a very interesting, very good, very smart book
Hmm.
about basically what you should do before. Basically, it's about, in technical terms, defining requirements well before you start coding them, and
Hmm.
project managers start assigning them and stuff like that. But it's a very specific, very battle hardened kind of thing, and they're very smart people. And the other one is the inner workings of large language models, by someone. It's just a very smart kind of software engineer person
Cool.
who just sort of learned these things, wanted to learn large language models, and then was like, the origin story of many Leanpub books is like, I actually did this in really great detail. I learned every single thing I needed to know to really understand them, and I wrote it all down. Why don't I turn that into a book?
That's
um,
awesome. That's
and
just
then
awesome.
why don't I get it out there and start improving it as people come to me with feedback like, you seem to have skipped a step there, or I'm not technical enough to understand that. So yeah, those are three book launch videos that we published this week.
And we'll put all the links in the like. This is a live stream, obviously, but after it's done, we'll go find. And this is on X and it's on YouTube and LinkedIn. We'll go like reply to ourselves afterward and put all the links that we mentioned afterward. But also, you can just go to our homepage. I think I know the Ready one, for example. I think it's on the shelf. So if you just go to Leanpub's homepage, you can just like click on our shelf and you'll see it there on the homepage. Cool. Awesome. Okay. So here, I'll share my screen. I got a few things I want to talk about too. Um, so I'll go share screen window here. Actually, before I keep going, oh, whoops, I got to add to stage. I always forget that. Um, so let's just see if I can find, oh yeah. So ready. Here we are. Ready. This is the first one. So yeah, so this is really cool. Um, okay. So next up, so we got Arlene Publishing Daily. Let's come back to that at the end. Course AI and global author. So we talked about this earlier, but we've been thinking through Course AI and global author and trying to like streamline it and figure out what is Course AI and what is global author in terms of like what should the right packages be. And now I think we've finally solved it. So I want to talk through like spend a minute or two just talking through basically at a high level like what are the three different Course AI packages? What are the three different global author packages? Who does it make sense for? Because I think now it's finally understandable. One of the things I do wrong all the time is whenever I build things, I make them too complicated and I make the text too big. And so, so this was too complicated. Now I think it's hopefully not too complicated. We'll find out. Yeah, so I'll just jump in. Um, And then at the end, I want to tease a track that I know you've been doing some video interviews on. So that's at the end. So stick around to the end of this because there's a really, really cool track with a $100 off launch coupon for this live stream. Okay. So Course AI. Basically, the idea behind Course AI is if you are a Leanpub author with a Leanpub book that is for professional people, your book should be a course so that learners at companies can buy the course and do it on company time with their company credit card. If you make your book a course, you are doing them a favor And if you charge more for your course than your book, like 5, 10 times more, you're doing them a favor, because then they can be like, this is a serious course, let me do it. So basically, if that's not win-win, what is? So we have three different. So then, okay, fine, great. Why are there three Course AI packages? So it's really quite simple. Course AI has three packages because, like, at the most basic thing is standard, which is basically we've been working really hard on the AI part of Course AI. And so if you're someone who likes to sort of micromanage what happens, like, and is willing to look at the output, standard, and also if you don't want a video interview with Len, standard's all you need. So basically, we make a cover. In all three of these, we make a nice cover for you. We take your book cover and we use Photoshop and make it into a course cover and get your little avatar and turn it into a circle face and stick it somewhere on the course. We're not trying to, like, win any awards for covers, but we make a cover that's professional enough that you can sell it. Standard, we basically use Course AI to basically, it reads your book and for every single chapter, it makes a lesson and makes quizzes at the end of every lesson. And throughout the lesson, it makes exercises. The longer your lesson is, the more exercises there are. And that's the core of Course AI. It's basically your book is turned into a course with exercises throughout each lesson, quizzes at the end of each lesson, automated marking. If the learner does well enough, they get a certificate, all that good stuff. And that is like the core value of Course AI. Regardless of whether you get Course AI Standard, Pro, or Max, it's the same thing in terms of that. We also have we have the AI not just make the questions, but also evaluate how good are they. And so we have a step in Course AI where it basically uses a rubric of, like, there are 6 or 7 different factors to judge every question, and then it ranks them and sorts them, and we take the best ones and use only the best ones for the quizzes and exercises. And it does all that. And so, like, it actually does a really good job. And so basically, if you're looking for, like, basically, like, the most core value of Course AI, that's standard. Now, if you're not trusting what the AI did and you want to, like, want us to go and manually check everything, that's Pro. So basically, besides everything that just happens in standard, we go and, like, do human review of every single quiz and exercise in your course. When we publish the course, we take it ourselves, we get a certificate, we make sure we're happy with it and that we understood it as a learner. And that's annoying. I mean, in terms of, like, it's good, obviously, but it means that we have to go, like, do the course and make sure, like, do we understand what's actually happening here? And that's actually a meaningful amount of work. And so that's why it costs $500 more. And finally, in terms of effort level, it's Max. What Max is basically Course AI Pro plus Talk to Len. So one thing that lots of courses have on the internet is videos. Like, lots of people, just even the idea of what is a course is sort of synonymous with, like, oh, well, there's a bunch of videos and stuff, right? And so, well, obviously, I don't think very many people would want us just making AI videos out of your course material. So instead, what we do is Len schedule. If you get Course AI Max, then what you do is Len reaches out and you guys schedule, like, times to talk with him over Zoom. It's typically about 3 hours. Len, do you want to talk? Like, you've been doing all this. Why don't you describe how it works?
Specifically what happens is I reach out to you and I give you my Calendly link, and then you choose 3 1-hour slots for us to meet. I've found in the sort of recordings that I've done with authors that for 1 hour, you can keep it up, kind of being excited and interested and stuff like that. And after an hour, it kind of, like, starts to flag, or you start to, dread the meeting or something like that. But 1 hour really works. So picking 3 1-hour slots. And what happens is the night before, I send you a set of proposed questions. All you need to do is skim them. You don't need to reply. You don't need to do anything. And then we sort of, like, discuss if you like them or don't like them when we actually do the meeting. And the idea there is that I do enough research and read enough to know that, like, about you and what you've written, that you don't need to do any work to answer any of these questions. That's the idea. And so you don't need to prepare or anything like that. You're already prepared. You wrote a book. And then when that's all done, when we've done the 3 sessions, then we do all the editing. And then what we'll do is we'll put, for each lesson, which you can think is the course version of a chapter, there will be a little video of us talking about something relevant to that lesson on every single lesson, more or less, in the
Hmm.
course. And then that when someone's going through it, that gives them a chance to kind of sit back, have something human, but also have something that's exclusive to the course. So no one other than sort of short clips that we might use to promote it, no one else can actually watch those videos. So they
Hmm.
know that they're getting a kind of like a sort of almost like a kind of like private conversation with you, or getting to listen in on it, which is actually really high value for your readers.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really nice because like Len sort of is the proxy for the learner here, right? Like Len asking the author questions about the course lesson. If you're taking the course, you'll be having some of the questions that Len had when he was looking at it. So this is a way for Len to ask the author questions that you might have. Instead of it just being sort of like watching a lecture there, the author just talks about stuff. And again, it's not trying to be like the video isn't, hey, here's all the sort of what and how. The idea for the video conversation is it's a higher level thing. It's why. It's like, why is this important? Why should you learn this? It helps you like sort of get motivated to learn what's in the lesson, and also gives you a bit of, some of our courses obviously have really like difficult material, so it gives you a sort of a bit of a mental breather, and just get motivated and pumped up. Go ahead, Lynn.
It also gives you insights into how the author kind of does things, right? So, for example, when I was interviewing someone recently, I asked them like, "Do you read?" It was about AI and programming, and I said, "Do you read the latest papers on prompt engineering?"
Mm-hmm.
And hearing a good answer from an expert who's like got it on the line, working at big companies you've heard of,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what's their approach to that? How do they think about problems like that? That might not be something that they cover explicitly in the course, but that comes up in the conversation.
Mm-hmm. No, that's awesome. So yeah, so high level, all three of these course AI packages are really good values, I think. Um, we price it based on value and based on effort. Obviously, for us, like we actually, I think, in terms of from our side profitability, these are all basically the same. So like we want you to, if you're interested in these, you should pick whatever makes sense for you. I'm not trying to push you toward this or this, like any of them, whatever makes sense for you. Yeah, and if you've got a book though that you think would be a good course, it's a button click, you find out. And obviously we have our like unconditional refund. So if you're really unhappy, just let us know. But like so far they've been turning out really well. Next up is global author. But before we do that, I think I'm just gonna go and show what an example of these courses. So we've three of the courses that we've done recently are actually part of a track, and we have not hyped this up at all. This track hasn't really launched because the videos are still in editing for Henrik and Obi, right? Like, I think Andre's are done, obviously, but Henrik and Obi were still in edit mode on the videos. So this is going to go live next week. But in terms of like live, as in marketing, but the point is we have this now. So if you're watching this live stream, you can look at the URL here, and the key part is the coupon is here, and the track name is here. Also, like basically the only thing that you really need to note is this live stream log 22 thing, because even though, and man, I have to stop my phone and get it in do not disturb mode. Jesus.
One thing I would just note
Every
is that
time.
one thing I would just note is that you get updates to Leanpub books and courses for free in case you didn't know. So if you get it now, you'll get the videos when they're added
Mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
Obi and Henrik's courses. They'll appear one day.
Yeah, no, they'll just magically show up. And again, since
Mhm.
the videos are purely additive, it doesn't change the course material. It's just like you have bonus stuff in the course material. So
Mhm.
it's like what you have now here is just, just literally a coupon. You can just start the courses now and do it. If you get the track actually, and you're like, no, I want to watch every video and not do this stuff until, well, Andre's is done. So you can get the track and just start with Andre's course. The other neat thing is we can't really do that since we published it to do a soft launch. It's kind of a soft launch, but the thing about it is it's not a soft launch because on the course page we see this track thing here, and so it's like, well, the track is visible. So if it's visible here, we should be like, and we're doing our live stream, we should be promoting. So if you're an early adopter, we want to make sure you get like the biggest sale that we're basically ever going to do on this is right now. So get it now while it's there. Um, okay, now back to the next fun thing, global author. So again, with the themes of when I launch things, they're too complicated. Global author had 4 plans when I did the last live stream, but it was too complicated and didn't make any sense. So I've streamlined it to 3 plans. And I'll explain briefly what's in all of them and what they cost and why. So Global Author has Standard, Pro, and Max. All 3 Global Author. So backing up, what is Global Author? Why does it exist? Global Author is like, hey, are you done your book and do you want to put it in as many places as possible, in as many formats as possible? That's Global Author. So it's like, okay, well, what does that mean? It's like, well, if you're done your book, what comes next? Maybe make a course. Obviously, Len and I have just spent 5-10 minutes talking about why it's awesome to make a course. So every single Global Author plan includes Course AI. Global Author Standard includes Course AI Standard. Global Author Pro, Course AI Pro. Global Author Max, take a guess. Course AI Max, right? So they all include Course AI at the level that Global Author is. They also now, the other neat thing about it is they all include all 31 versions of Translate, like all 31 translations we produce with Translate AI. Now it's neat though, because it's actually, for example, Translate AI, we have this page here and you can go, we've made Translate AI have new pricing, like buy one, get 2 free. So for example, you can go scroll down, pick a book and say, okay, I want to go to French. And if I'm saying French, it's 149. Oh, but I buy one, get 2 free. French, German, and Spanish. 149. And then if you're like, no, I also want to get Japanese. Well, it's like, well, we're like, hey, buy one, get 2 free, 298. So make sure if you get 4 things that you also pick 2 other languages. We treat Chinese simplified and traditional as different languages because we have to produce different translations. And, so Chinese simplified, Chinese traditional, say, and then that's 6 languages for 298, which is just crazy. Like if you think about what's possible to do now with a button click. I mean, it was funny. I was reading David Ogilvy's Confessions of an Advertising Man, and on the back of the book, it's like this book has been translated into 14 languages. Like, but it's like one of those weird things where it's like, decades ago, it's like only the rare, massive successes could be translated into like 14 languages. You can click 14 checkboxes and be translated into 14 languages, which is just, I just love technology sometimes. It's just super cool. So yeah, or you can choose 9 languages. But if you're like, you know what, what's better than 9 languages or 14 languages? 31 languages. So if you like check all the checkboxes here, what it ends up costing is $14.90. And I'm just saying that just to sort of frame what Global Author is Global Author gives you all that as well. But it's better than buying, if you were going to go get all 31 translations on Translate AI, don't check the 31 checkboxes. Go buy Global Author instead. It's better. Here's why. Before we do the translation, we make an index. And if your book, like most books that are sort of done and like professional, have indexes in them. And it's because if you're making a print book, you want an index because print book readers don't get to search the book easily. We also make alt text for better accessibility. And when you're going on Amazon, by the way, and then they have a little checkbox in KDP, which is like, or a dropdown or something, it asks you like how accessible your images are. And so if you use Global Author, we get to say they're completely accessible because we use AI to make extremely good alt text for the images. And so then that's obviously not relevant for the print book, but it is relevant for the Kindle book. So we make an index, we make amazing alt text, and then we run it through this Ace by Daisy accessibility checker and make sure there's no issues in Ace by Daisy. And then we review everything and make sure we're happy. And then we email you and you get to say yes or give us feedback. And then once you say, assuming you just say yes, then we go translate it into 31 languages and make a course, right? So it's like all that for $24.99, right? You have your book, you've got your book with alt text, you've got your book with an index, you've got your book translated into 31 languages, and your book is a course. And then we also give you a bonus 1-month shelf spot. So it's a crazy deal. Now, the only thing that's not really there is Amazon. So we have a publish on Amazon service that's normally $14.99, like $1,500. And so Pro adds publish on Amazon. Besides that, it also adds Course AI Pro. So it's more concierge. We do the course ourselves, yada yada yada, right? And that's $1,000 more. So it's an amazing deal because you get this $1,500 publish on Amazon service, and you get the $500 better, you know, course AI service. So it's like $2,000 of value for $1,000. So that's awesome. And then the last one. So this is funny. It's like I keep wishing every time I explain what's in it, I keep wishing we weren't doing it, but I'll explain it again, and we're still doing it. So Global Author Max, we do Course AI Max, which is obviously awesome. We published the book, the English language book, on Amazon. We also publish 14 to the 31 translations on Amazon, which is 39 different editions on Amazon. It's not all 31 translations, and the reason why is Amazon. There's a longer reason why. If you want to know really why, here we go. I'm not going to explain that in this podcast. You can just scroll and read. Specifically, what we put on Amazon with Global Author Max is right here. So these are the 15 different languages, right? Your original English language book and 14 translations. In total, it's 39 editions. So that's awesome. Besides that, index, alt text, all that good stuff, Ace by Daisy, Course AI Max, Shelf Spot, so these are all amazing value. Obviously, $6,000 is very expensive. Frankly, if someone buys this or this, I'm probably going to still be happier than if they buy this. This is $2,500 extra, and it's pain. Like 39 different editions, 15 different languages on KDP. Every one of them, we make the custom covers in Photoshop. Pain and suffering all around. So if you were thinking of doing this yourself, if you went and did it, you'd be like, oh, now I get why it costs $2,500 more.
That's basically everyone who's ever interacted with KDP and then finds out about this is like, I get why you're offering that service.
Yeah.
If you're an author, like from our perspective, if you're a Leanpub author, like everybody's sort of reinventing the wheel every time. Going through the great, I mean, really, like I can't like, you get errors on, if you don't like errors on Leanpub, you won't like errors on Amazon either. They'll be worse, and you won't be able to contact anyone to help you. Like and like the other thing too is that to note about our publish on Amazon service is that we manage the payments. So that's the other thing that anyone who's dealt with it knows. Like you get like a weird like 10 cents from Australia kind of like payment. Like it's very strange. Your accountant will complain to you about it, and we handle it. You get one USD payment you get one payment from us. You can set the currency if you're unwise that you want to receive it in, but we send you a spreadsheet with a breakdown when we send you a payment, and it's all very clear, and we handle it.
Yeah, and to be clear, we pay you 80% of the money Amazon pays us, not 100%. The reason why is we don't believe in doing something where we lose money every single month. If we sold you something and had an ongoing expense to do something forever for no money, that would be a bad business to be in. So this 20% that we take is to make sure we do everything really well and professionally, and we just pay you 80% of the money we get. Not 80% royalties. We don't even get 80% royalties. Obviously, Amazon takes what they take, and then of what they give us, we pay you 80% of that. And basically the idea is if you value your time and you want us to do all the Amazon stuff for you, the best deal is Global Author Pro. To be blunt, most people probably won't earn $2,500 extra in royalties from the translations of their books on Amazon. Most. Some will, but most won't. And so if I was going to recommend which one should you get, I would recommend Pro, because if you're just doing it in terms of like if you're just trying to say, okay, but the thing is, I say that, but of course it's not really correct, because Global Author Max also includes the wonderful, video interviews Len does with you. And that actually is very valuable. So,
and we also just one last thing to add about that. I think we have a meeting to go to, but
yes. Oh God, in 1 minute.
I know, but anyway, we also produce lots of short video excerpts from those videos for social media marketing.
Yeah,
Like I think I did like
it's really good.
80 or 100 for Andre's course. Like it's just very valuable to do the
Yeah.
video. Um,
Yeah. Okay. So you're selling me really well in this. Now I'm feeling bad that we didn't put Max in this, but we didn't. So anyway, this is an amazing deal. Who knows if it'll be 6K, forever. We have to leave. So this live stream is going to have an abrupt end. But anyway, lastly, just go back and the videos this is the sound of the live stream ending. We have a Lean Publishing daily newsletter. Buy a book on Leanpub, even a free book, will prompt you, be like, hey, get in the Lean Publishing Daily. It's awesome. Amazing coupons and stuff in that, launch videos, podcast videos, all kinds of good stuff. And yeah, again, the secret deal that I've gone and lost now. If I just go here, whoopsie, go
oh, look,
here.
we've got comments. I'll answer the comments while you go to the other meeting.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Live stream is going to end in 5, 4, 3, 2. As soon as I click the button. Thanks, guys. See you next week.